Hello again, horse racing fans. Welcome to another Kentucky Derby episode on the Inside Post. What a weekend! February kicks off 4 Kentucky Derby preps this weekend. We've already thrown out our Holy Bull Stakes. Now we're on to the Southwest Stakes. Huge field in here. We already have the scratch of number 1, Maycox Bay, unfortunately, who was the post time favorite. So now possibly up for grabs who's going to be the post time favorite in here. 2 horses definitely likely um, can take that spot pretty easily. So we're going to give you the rundown of the field and our best bet, a horse that we've liked and it's been on our Kentucky Derby top 10 list. So we'll see what can happen in here, but definitely a really good betting race, a big field of 11 horses right now. Hopefully nobody else scratches out. So make sure to hit that like button, give us a subscribe to check out all of our Kentucky Derby prep videos and videos leading up to the Kentucky Derby week. All right, number 2, we have a big long shot in here. Charleston, Harry Hernandez will get the mount for this horse, 30-1. Huge price. Out of Tapiture, a maiden coming in here, hitting the board so in its last start. Probably one that's going to be a lot of people's toss. There's just not a whole lot of speed to indicate anything special about this horse right now. Like I said, I think it was like 11th last time out, and it's maiden. So this is definitely one that's going to be on a lot of people's toss list. Third out of the gate, we're going to look at Magic Grant for Cliff Landeros, another 30-1 horse in here. Big price on the first 2 horses that we're kind of talking about. Eddie Milligan is the trainer. Chris Landeros will get them out. Third in the Remington Springboard in its last time out. Kind of made a big rally in the stretch there in the Springboard Mile. I think it was like 8 lengths to finish third. So definitely one that's going to be coming off the pace if it has something to run into. So kind of consider there if you want to throw this one under. For some wider exotics, maybe wouldn't hurt to roll this one into your third place trifecta, or even get a little spicy and go for the exact on this horse at 30-1. Just because the late speed of this horse could cause some problems for the early speed runners. Career has 82 speed figure, but I think the horse really kind of conserves a lot and looks for that big late run. I think there's some other options in here that are far superior than Magic Grant. But again, in your super or trifectas, this probably is a horse that you could easily roll into a third or fourth place just based off of some pace scenarios that could set up in here. Number 4, we have Otto the Conqueror for Joel Rosario. This was a street sense colt for Steve Asmussen. This was the winner of that Springboard Mile. That Magic Grant could not run down Otto the Conqueror. Here we go, 5-1. This horse could be the post time favorite now. I still think there's some other options in here, but this is one of the contenders now that Maycox Bay has been eliminated. Big run in the Springboard. I think it was like 3/4 of a length that the horse won by. Had a pretty good speed duel up front. Like I said, out of street sense, so it has the pedigree. I think it was almost a $500,000 purchase at the Keeneland Yearling September or Keeneland sale. Had some pretty good bullet workouts. Comes off a pretty decent layoff from that springboards coming in. 91 speed figure. Definitely a horse to use in your exotics. Did come in one race shy, I believe, of being undefeated. Fell to Liberal Arts, which is another horse in here. I believe it was in the street sense. So definitely a contender. Otto the Conqueror, probably going to use this horse underneath, maybe as a second or a third pick. And when we get to it, we'll tell you why. Number 5, Winstock Kyle Frey. Horse comes out of the low style. Futurity steps in here, trained by Bob Baffert. And of course, we all know the stories of the Bob Baffert in the Kentucky Derby. Not going to get into that heated debate on this show today. So one that's definitely going to have some speed, big $700,000 purchase, New York bred. Um, Whoops, what was this one out of? Solomini. So it has some of the pedigree, 2 for 4 lifetime. Right now, a horse that seems to be getting better as it races. So kind of interesting to see what this one do. In its third race, it did stretch out to a mile, changed up the jockey, broke cleanly, and will set the pace. So we're looking at Winstock to kind of set a pretty good pace in here. Um, Possible contender just because of the pace scenario with some speed. And 99 career best speed figure, I think, is one of the top ones currently. So definitely probably going to be our second pick in Winstock, just based off of pace scenario and early speed in that big 99 speed figure. Number 6, Liberal Arts. This was the Street Sense winner for Robert Medina. This is an arrogant colt. Won its debut by about 2-3 lengths in that Street Sense on a sloppy track back in October. So comes in off a pretty hefty layoff. Um, Beautiful gray horse. If you've seen this horse run, I think it's on our uh, title image as being pretty much covered up in mud. But definitely has some pedigree to back it up. 92 speed figure in that Street Sense. Does come off a pretty decent layoff though. However, um, has some pretty good workouts leading up to this race, so that's always good after a layoff. So we just wanted to make sure, the horse came out of that muddy street sense in good form, and then was able to lay down some pretty hefty workouts. So this is the horse that is on our Kentucky Derby top 10 as of now, and at 8-1, we really like the horse in here. So we'll see if it kind of has that same running style that it performed in the Street Sense, winning pretty heavily. Again, it was a muddy track. Um, so we'll see if it can pick that up as well. I think we're going to see stalking from Liberal Arts. I think that's kind of what the horse did, even though it was off a muddy track. I think that's kind of what they're projecting in here for Liberal Arts. And I think, we're going to have Winstock going out early. And we get a couple other horses pressing. I think it's going to set up for Liberal Arts to make that run as well. So you're going to see a couple horses probably coming late or flying late. So we're definitely high on Liberal Arts. This will be our top pick in here for the Southwest. Next, you have Carbone. This horse is coming in undefeated for Steve Asmussen. Just won an allowance at Oaklawn Park. This will get Ricardo Santana aboard. This one is a Matoli baby. Um, I believe the combined length in his 2 starts or 2 wins has been like 12 lengths. So this horse has definitely been putting up some numbers and has been under a lot of people's watch. Comes in, like I said, uh, undefeated, breaking its maiden, winning an allowance, trying stakes race for the first time. Speed looks really good. Workouts look really good. Um, I think this one will possibly be the post time favorite, and this will probably be our second or third pick in using it with Winstock and Liberal Arts. The horse just looks fantastic and has not really done anything wrong or has not really ran into any trouble. So we'll see what happens when it faces off against 11 other pretty good contenders that have had stakes company and that have some pretty good speed figures to back it up. But this horse could be really good for Steve Asmussen. Next, we have the 8 Common Defense, a big long shot here. Kenny McPeak, I do believe, is the trainer, getting Julian Leperoux aboard for this 15-1. Colt comes out of, I think it's just a maiden. Yeah, a maiden at Oaklawn Park for breaking its first maiden. This one is out of Caraconte. So interesting to see this one coming to the dirt. This one may fit better on the turf, but hey, let's try it. Let's see if we can pick up some Derby points. Interesting, 15 to 1. McPeak usually does really well or hits on some of these crazy price horses on these Kentucky Derby preps. So one to kind of watch in here as well. I just think we're going to pass on this one just because it doesn't really have much of a stakes background. Coming in, the speed figures look a little bit off. And again, is the pedigree suited for this style of race? 9, we have the big old linebacker. This kid's Emmanuel Esquivel aboard with Jordan Blair. Trained second maiden in the Southwest. So this one is a maiden coming in here, first time stakes, or hasn't. I think it broke its maiden last time out. Linebacker, second in its maiden last time out. Sorry. So still is a maiden. Has yet to win. Has been beaten by a combined links of or combined 11 links. So this is a definite pass for us. I just think this is it's a tough spot coming in. Not breaking your maiden. Coming into to horses that have speed and have some tacticalness on their pace scenarios. This is just going to be a tall task for linebacker. Love the name. Love the name. We'll see. But going to be a pass for us. Next, we have number 10, Mystic Dan. This gets Brian Hernandez. This is the other Kenneth McPeak trained. This horse will press the pace, looks like in here. So probably going to go out to Winstock and Carbone and kind of press a little bit. Was kind of defeated terribly. I think it was like 11 links. This one is Golden Sense's son. So it does have a little pedigree to back it up there. Kenny McPeak training. Like I said, on Common Defense, he kind of he's sneaky in these prep races. He kind of knows how to steal them. This one has Brian Hernandez, which is usually his go-to jockey. So I think Mystic Dan probably has a little bit better chance in here than Common Defense. 1 for 4 lifetime. Looks like he's better at sprinting than going this distance. So probably one that's just going to play a factor into the pace, especially if he's going to press it. He's going to make him go quick early, which is going to set up for our closers and Liberal Arts and possibly, I think, Magic Grant or Otto the Conqueror. So be looking for that if Mystic Dan can kind of get out. I know he's from the 10 hole, but if he can get out and kind of press Winstock or Carbone, or even let Winstock and Carbone go at each other, Mystic Dan can just kind of be there ready to pounce. I really think he has the early speed, and with Kenny, the trainer usually kind of has those horses set up for sprints. Number 11, Just Steel. This one's interesting. The Justify Babies have been running dominantly here of late, so this one's kind of sneaky in here for us. Ramon Vasquez will get them out for this Dwayne Lucas horse. Second in the Smarty Jones. And I believe Mystic Dan came out in the Smarty Jones. Second in there. Looks interesting. In here, this one is being talked about as, a contender, a highly contender in here. Has the pedigree, has pretty good speed. I think it was second. Was beaten two links to Catching Freedom in that race in its last start. So has the stakes capability, has some speed. It's just what's this horse going to do on the pace scenario? I think it's going to set off the pace just a little bit. Like I said, let those other speed duels of Winstock and Carbone go out. And Just Steel's going to look to sit there for a pounce, possibly since it's in the 11th spot, going to make that wide move going into the final turn. That could cause some problems for some other horses. Just Steel kind of sitting off the pace, kind of biding his time, makes a late run in the stretch. Really good workout. I think it was five furlongs. It was on a muddy track though, but it shows that the horse is in great form right now and is one to probably be taken seriously. So if we could throw in another horse, Just Steel is a sneaky pick right now. It's one that we're kind of struggling on what we're going to do with this horse. But at 8 to 1, Liberal Arts, Just Steel, Carbone, we'll take it. Holy cow, that would be a really good exacta trifecta match right there. And we'll throw out the Bob Baffert trying to come in here and play spoiler. And 12, we have another pretty good one in Awesome Road. I believe this is Cox and Florent Giroux in here. Scratched out of the Lecomte, comes in here, fifth in the Kentucky Jockey Club. The horse is kind of trying to find its place right now. Um, so we'll see. It does come off a pretty decent layoff from that Kentucky, uh, the Jockey Club. So we'll see. Out of Quality Road, so has the pedigree. Um, it's kind of like I said, kind of trying to find his footing. A horse that may be a late mature, so we'll see if it kind of takes a step forward in here. We're probably going to leave this one off of our wagerings. If it beats us, it beats us. I'm fine with that, just because the horse really hasn't shown anything. Um, Even in the workouts, it's nothing that's been able to wow us. It was a $600,000 purchase, Claiborne Farms, so it's got all the right cues. It's just it's not hitting right now. So one, probably not really to take into very heavy consideration. So there it is. We have a pretty decent field for the Southwest, for the Kentucky Derby Prep on Saturday 3rd, at Oaklawn Park. There's our top picks, kind of a sneaky bet in here. We really like Liberal Arts. Um, at a pretty good price of 8-1. Just Steel is a sneaky pick at 8-1 as well. Carbone comes in undefeated, looks really fast, likes to go early. And then deciding what we're going to do with Winstock, another. This one's a Bob Baffert shipper coming in, trying to play spoiler. That will definitely set the early pace as well. And our big closer, or if you want a long shot pick, believe it was Magic Grant coming in that third or fourth spot for your trifectas or superfectas, especially because it looks like we're going to get some pace in here, and Magic Grant will have that ability to run into. But he's also going to have to run with Liberal Arts and Just Steel, who's going to make that late run as well, sitting in that stalking position. So we thank you for watching our Southwest Stakes Kentucky Derby prep preview. We hope you bet and win on these Kentucky Derby preps. There are a ton of them. Go check out our Holy Bull stakes picks as well. And we thank you for watching. Make sure to hit the like and subscribe.